Hey friends, welcome back to Bible Tea. I'm so glad you're here. I want to thank you all for all the prayers you did for Aaron yesterday. He feels so much better today. I thank God for that because I know without the prayers and just having faith and trusting in Him, he would still be puny. But I just want to praise His name today that Aaron's feeling a whole lot better. And today, for Bible Tea, we're going to be reading Proverbs 29. I'll put it in the link if you would like to listen to it, or if that's one of the only ways you can, because not everybody is able to stay home, and not everybody is able to take their Bible in with them. But if they can have it through their little ear, reading it to them, that should help, I hope. And so, let's get started here. So the summary I got out of Proverbs 29 today was that Proverbs 29 has 27 Bible verses. And it emphasizes the importance of seeking God's wisdom and living according to His ways. The chapter contrasts the outcomes of following divine guidance versus ignoring it, illustrating that those who trust in the Lord find safety and security. It warns against the dangers of flattery, highlighting that speaking insincerely can lead to harm. Additionally, it encourages self-awareness and consideration of others' needs, promoting a spirit of service and humility. The chapter also advises against quick anger and pride. Ultimately, Proverbs 29 serves as a powerful reminder to pursue God's wisdom in our lives as it leads to true happiness and fulfillment. And man, did this chapter really check all the boxes that I was looking for today. And I just couldn't be more happier with it. Because while warning us of what could happen, we still have God's mercy, grace, and love. And it's up to us on how we choose to live. So some questions that I had today for the chapter were mainly about verses again. So let's dive into them. So what does verse 15 mean? Verse 15 reads in the Bible, and I don't think I mentioned it, but I use a King James Version. Verse 15 says, "The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame." So this verse highlights to me the importance of discipline and guidance in raising children. The rod symbolizes correction and discipline, while reproof refers to verbal correction or instruction. Together they are seen as essential tools for important wisdom to a child. Tools for imparting wisdom to a child. I'm sorry, I misspoke that last bit. The second part I am so sorry, I'm having trouble talking today. But the second part of this verse warns that if a child is left to their own consequences, their own devices, without guidance or discipline, it can lead to negative consequences, ultimately causing shame to the parents. This emphasizes the responsibility of parents to actively teach and correct their children, helping them grow in wisdom and understanding. I am so thankful that I had a mom, a dad, and grandparents, and great aunts and uncles and aunts who were willing to do this for me. Because, boy, if they hadn't, I don't know where me or my sister would be at today. Verse 18, what does it mean? Verse 18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he." Let me get that frog out of my throat now. So verse 18 to me emphasizes the importance of having a clear vision or guidance in life. The vision can be understood as a revelation or understanding of God's will and purpose. Without this vision, people may lack direction and can lead to chaos or destruction. The second part of this verse contrasts this by stating that those who adhere to God's law, His commandments and teachings, are truly happy. This suggests that following God's guidance provides a sense of purpose and fulfillment, leading to a blessed life. Overall, Proverbs 29:18 encourages individuals and communities to seek divine wisdom and adhere to God's principles for a prosperous and meaningful life. So, that goes on into verse 19. What does it mean? And it says, "A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he will not answer." And this verse to me highlights the limitations of verbal corrections. I am so sorry. Allergies for you, y'all. Tennessee weather at its best. Sorry. So, this verse 19 highlights the limitations of verbal correction when dealing with a servant or someone in a someone who is under you, like an employee, basically. It suggests that simply speaking to someone may not be enough to bring about change or understanding. Even if the servant comprehends the words being said, they may not respond or act accordingly. The implication is that actions may be more effective than words when it comes to correction or guidance. This verse can serve as a reminder that effective communication often requires more than just verbal instructions. It may also involve practical demonstrations or consequences to encourage understanding and compliance. I don't know about you, but when I think about this verse, it puts me in mind of a saying that goes, "Let your actions speak louder than words." But that's what comes to mind when I think about this verse. So verse 20, what does it mean? And it says, "Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than of him." So, to me, this verse warns against being quick to speak without thinking. It suggests that a person who is hasty in their words may lack wisdom and discernment. The comparison to a fool indicates that there is a greater chance of a fool learning and growing than someone who speaks impulsively. The underlying message in this is the importance of being thoughtful and measured in our speech. It encourages individuals to consider their words carefully before speaking, as hasty words can lead to misunderstandings, conflict, and lack of credibility. This verse serves as a reminder to practice patience and wisdom in our communication with others. I just can't see this, to me, this is not a true reverse, because there's been so many times that I have jumped to the conclusion instead of being patient, calm, and listen, and then think, and then speak. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know how you all feel about it. Then our next verse that I had a question about was verse 22. What does it mean? It says, an angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man abundeth in transgression. So to me, this verse highlights the destructive nature, if I can speak today. This verse highlights the destructive nature of anger. It indicates that a person who is easily angered tends to create conflict and discord. The phrase stirreth up strife suggests that anger can lead to disputes and disagreements, while a furious man abundeth in transgression implies that uncontrolled anger can result in sinful actions and behaviors. The message here is a warning about the consequences of allowing anger to take control. It encourages individuals to manage their emotions and seek peace rather than allowing anger to lead them into conflict and wrongdoing. This verse serves as a reminder of the importance of self-control and the need to respond to situations with calmness and wisdom. I've always been told growing up, if you get mad and you don't have anything nice to say, you should 1, not say it at all, 2, walk away, cool off, and revisit the topic. And I try to live by that, but sometimes I find myself being quick to get mad. Lately, since I've asked God to help me with this, He's been testing me. And I'm trying to do a whole lot better. I'm not going to say I'm there yet by no means, but I am trying. So we're almost done. The last 2 verses that I wanted to know more about was, what does verse 24 and 26 mean? So verse 24 reads, whoso is partnered with a thief hateth his own soul. He heareth cursing and bewaileth it not. So this verse to me warns against associating with dishonest individuals. It suggests that being a partner with a thief is harmful to oneself, as it can lead to moral compromise and consequences. The later part of the verse indicates that a person who hears cursing or wrongdoing but does not speak out against it also is guilty of complicity. And I just want to go back and point out that from chapter 28, we were told to stand up for what is right in verse 23 and in verse 4, I believe. Because verse 4 says in chapter 28, they that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. And then verse 23 that I was talking about says, he that rebuketh a man afterward shall find more favor than he that flattereth with the tongue. That's going back to prove the point of, if you know it's wrong, don't do it. Don't be with the people who are doing wrong. You can pray for them, but ultimately, you have to stand firm on what you believe and what you know is right. And if the Bible says it's wrong, it is wrong. The Bible says it is right, it is right. So then we have verse 26. And this verse says, many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment cometh from the Lord. And to me, this verse emphasizes that while people may seek the approval or favor of those in power, ultimately it is God who judges and determines outcomes. It serves as a reminder that human opinions and positions of authority are not as significant as God's judgment. Looking at these verses together, to me, the verses both encourage individuals to be mindful of their associations and to remember that true judgment and justice comes from God, rather than seeking the favor of others. They highlight the importance of integrity and the need to align oneself with righteousness. And the last overall question I have for you all is, what verses stood out to you in this chapter? For me, I had two, and they were Proverbs 29:15 and 27. And as I've read, 15 says, "The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame." And then Proverbs 27, which I have not read out loud today, says, "An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked." All right, friends, I hope this encourages you today. It blesses you, and I pray you all have a very safe, happy, great day. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye!